Welcome to Smack This, the unofficial Godsmack podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things Godsmack. This is episode 46 this week, the Best of Times World Tour Review so far. This week in Godsmack News, the Best of Times World Tour kicked off this past Thursday in Denver, Colorado. Also on Saturday, the band posted a behind-the-scenes video of them and the road crew putting the stage together and stuff like that. I actually asked them to do that on a comment, so they must have listened to me. So that was fantastic, and hopefully there'll be more to come. A cool part happened this past Sunday's show in Albuquerque, New Mexico. A little boy joined the band on stage. I seen the little video clip, and actually the person that posted it on Instagram as well. I'm guessing the boy is probably, I'm going to say 7 or 10 years old, somewhere in there. But it was really cool. He got to be on the stage and do the go away part of the song, whatever. So that's really freaking cool. Plus, he had a sign, and I think this is what uh, helped him get on stage with the band. Was he had a sign that said "Third Generation Godsmack Fans." So that's really cool. Uh, the show this past Tuesday in Rogers, Arkansas. The show was actually cut short because thunderstorms in the area. So they didn't do any encores, but they played the main set. I've seen a little bit of videos of that show as well, and the rain was just pouring down, but the band tried to keep playing. Unfortunately, they had to stop. Plus, today, on my way home, the band announced that the second single off of Lighting Up the Sky, Soul on Fire, is #1 on Active Rock Radio. That is absolutely fantastic. It's the second #1 song off this album. The very first single, Surrender, was #1 for like 5 weeks. So now this song as well is #1. And it's the 13th overall #1 song that the band has released. That's just unbelievable. So that's it. Godsmack News. This week, like I said, it's episode 46, the Best of Times World Tour Review. I'm saying so far because they're still on the tour. And so in this week's episode, I thought I'd talk about the tour so far. The tour started, like I said, in Godsmack News this past Thursday, May the 4th, in Denver, Colorado. So I'm going to talk about the stage. I'm going to talk about the set list. So if you want to be spoiler free, if you're planning on going to the show and you don't want to know anything else about it, or anything, you might want to hit the stop button, because I'm going to spill a whole lot of beans. So I'm going to count to 3, and if you're still here, we're going to keep going. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you're still here we go. So let's do this. Now, they've only done 5 shows so far of the tour, so I've kind of did some information on it. And they're actually playing a show tomorrow night. So if you're watching it today, Thursday, tomorrow night, Friday, they actually have another show. And a whole lot more shows this month. Plus June, they're actually taking that month off. As far as now, I haven't seen any tour listings in the month of June. Then they come back out on the road doing the Cold headlining tour with Stained. So here we go. Let's talk about the stage. Let's talk about that first. There's amps on each side of Shannon's drum kit. There's 3 microphones, one on the right, one in the middle, one on the left. The lighting for this is really cool. I really like it a lot. Um, they have the lights kind of like what they did during what I call the Radio Festival tour. If you check out episode 2, you'll see what I'm talking about. The lights look like they're on top of the speakers, but they're not really. Uh, they brought back the triangle lighting rig. In fact, there's 3 of them now. So that was really cool, really interesting that they brought that back. Plus, you got pyro, and there's fire, and then there's more fire. So yeah, a lot of pyro, really cool. The backdrop behind Shannon and the amps is the Lighting Up the Sky album cover. More about that later as we go through this. So now, let's talk about the set list. There we go. Let me adjust my camera here. Um, this, they've had 2 different set lists so far. This one is from the Denver show, which was the one that kicked off the tour. So I'm going to go through this list real fast. So there's the intro from Mix Master Mike from the Beastie Boys, which they've been using since the Legends tour. Now they actually have him on like a video screen kind of thing to pump up the crowd. So they come on stage and they do the song You and I, which I thought was really interesting. I figured that it would be something new off the new album. In fact, I picked on my guess the set list that Lighting Up the Sky would be the opening song, but I was wrong. But You and I, it's great. It's a little slow song, so that's what really surprised me, that they opened up the show with this. Then song number 2, not that it's a bad song, let me back up. Not that it's a bad song live. You'll hear my review of the whole entire show here in a little bit. Song number 2 was When Legends Rise. Song number 3 was Crying Like a Beep. Song number 4 is the title track, Lighting Up the Sky. Song number 5 was Soul on Fire. Song number 6 is Something Different. Song number 7 was Bulletproof. Song number 8 is What About Me, which I didn't think they would actually play that song live, so it's actually really cool that they actually put that in the set list. Song number 9 is Awake. Song number 10 is Under Your Scars, so that was another thing that was really interesting when I saw the set list. Usually Under Your Scars is pretty much part of the encore. Song number 11 is Voodoo. Then they did the Battle of the Drums. Song number 12 was Whatever, which in the main set list. And then the encores were song number 13 was Surrender. And of course, song number 14 is I Stand Alone. Now, like I said, that was the set list to kick off the tour. And then the second show, they actually changed the set list at the Phoenix show. They and they've kept it this way since this show. So this is the set list that they're playing now. They do the intro with the Mix Master Mike, and they kick off the show with Soul on Fire. So, and then they go into song number 2, When Legends Rise. Song number 3, Crying Like a Beep. I'm having a hard time talking. Song number 4, You and I. Song number 5 is Lighting Up the Sky. Song number 6 is Something Different. Song number 7 is What About Me. Song number 8 is Bulletproof. Song number 9 is Awake. Song number 10 is Under Your Scars. Song number 11 is Voodoo, and then they do the Battle of the Drums. And then song number 12 is Whatever, so that ends the main set. Then the encores are song number 13, Surrender, and song number 14, I Stand Alone. So they kind of flip-flop some things around. I personally think Soul on Fire is a great way to start the show, and we'll talk about that. Let's talk about it now. So here's the review. Now this is the show that I saw is the full entire show. It's about an hour and 36 minutes is how long they've been playing. because there are other bands before them. So this review is from the letter U, festival in Phoenix, Arizona. In fact, I'll post the link to this show in the comments so you can actually watch it or listen to it. I think tomorrow I'm gonna listen to it in the car because it's a great set list. All right, so they start off with the intro, big white curtain. Like I said, Mix Master Mike from the Beastie Boys kind of comes on the curtain. He starts off with We Will Rock You by Queen, and then he does a little bit of So What You Want from the Beastie Boys. Tom Sawyer by Rush, and then that leads into Dream On by Aerosmith, which leads on to the Na 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 part of Hey Jude by the Beatles, and then that curtain drops. A black curtain is up with the big G logo, Godsmack logo, and then that drops, and some power goes off, and the band's already on the stage. Song number one is "So on Fire." The song just kicks right in. Absolutely amazing live. It's so good. I absolutely love this song. I really love it now when they're playing it live. Great way to start the show, like I said earlier. There's a lot of fire during the chorus, and then at the very ending of the song, it looks like all the amps catch on fire. It's really cool. Really, you gotta check this out. Then they go into song number two, which was Legends Rise, the last album, the title track. Shannon actually starts this one with the drum intro. Then Sully says, Are you ready to party with Godsmack? And then the song kicks in. Such a great song live. Happy that they kept it. In fact, I said in the set list, I wouldn't have been surprised if they actually dropped this song. So I'm actually really happy they kept it. Then they go into song number three, and that is Crying Like a Beep. They just go right into this one. It's good. It's so good as always. There's another. It's so good. Then they go into song number four, which is a new song off the album, Lighting Up the Sky. You and I. This one is really good. I really like the album version. Of course, I already knew it because the band leaked this song on their YouTube page, so you kind of got to hear this before the album came out. So Sully starts this one with that great guitar groove, then the band kind of joins in. It's a great song on the album and live. This is really good. I really enjoy this live version of it. Then song number five is the title track on the new album, Lighting Up the Sky. Again, sounds fantastic live, which I thought it would. Has like these little strobe lights that's going on with the song. It's really cool. You see one of the triangle lighting rigs kind of shows up in this. Then there's like a little surprise, which if you really listen to the song on the album, very towards the end, they play a little bit of Moon Baby. They actually play that part in the show where the crowd just goes absolutely crazy. So yeah, great song live. Love it. Song number six is Something Different off 1,000 Horsepower. I actually said, I guess, in the set list that this might be the tour that they dropped this song, and then I said, but however, Sully absolutely loves this song. He loves playing it live. So I said I wouldn't be surprised if it stays. So it actually stayed. He does the same kind of stage rap where he wants the crowd to look like a rock show that he used to go see, and even me, with girls on the shoulders and stuff like that. Awesome as always. Love this song. It's again so good live. Gets the crowd really going into it. Song number seven is another song off the new album, What About Me? Again, I was really shocked that they played this one Great song live uh, and on the album Lighting Up Sky. This is absolutely fantastic live. I really enjoyed it. Sorry, there's my notes. Then we go to song number 8, and that is Bulletproof, which is off the Legends album. Absolutely fantastic live. It's so good. There's another, it's so good. But what I really found interesting is on this performance is Sully's still on guitar. During the Legends tour, during what I call the Radio Festival tour, and these little hit and run shows that they did, and the European tour, Sully's usually just on the microphone. He's not playing guitar, so he's still on guitar during this point. So he's played 8 songs on guitar as of now. Again, it's really good. Love this song. Still, I can't get enough of that song. Then they go into song number 9, which is Awake, off the Awake album. Sully starts off with the top box. A little hint of the song Mistakes is being kind of played. Awesome song, as always, live. Now, then, forever. I love this song live. Then, in part of this show, you see the 3 triangles. So there's one here, one in the middle, and one on the other side. Pyro, tons of pyro on the song towards the end. Love it. It's just fantastic. Song number 10. So they slow it way down. Now Sully's off the guitar. On Under Your Scars. Sully's on a big white grand piano. Again, it's so good live. There's also some pyro towards the end of the song that's actually kind of surprised me. Usually they have, I call it rain, those little white sparklers kind of back behind the stage, or back behind Shannon, I should say. But this was actually pyro in front of the speakers, so it was actually kind of cool to see a little twist in it. Then they go into song number 11, and that is the Icon song, Voodoo. Fantastic live as always. A lot of fire. Crowd singing along. It's so good. It's freaking fantastic. Then we get into the Battle of the Drums. So Shannon comes out and goes to the, if you're looking at stage, he's going to stage right. Then the curtain kind of splits open a little bit. Sully's drums come rolling out. He goes stage left. They play some things back and forth, and then Sully tries to get the crowd pumped up. Then they face each other, do a little drum battle, and then they face the crowd, both of them, and then they do their little drum medley. This hasn't changed. Maybe it will once they do the tour with Stained. I don't know. But they did Back in Black with by AC/DC, which led into Walk This Way by Aerosmith, which led into Enter the Sandman by Metallica. There's some pyro there. And then that led into Moby Dick by Led Zeppelin. And then that led into, as always, Tom Sawyer by Rush, and a lot of fire and pyro going off on that one as well. Then Sully jumps off his drum kit, and then they go into song number 12, and that is Whatever. Fantastic as always live. During the go, this is a really surprise. So during the go away part of the song, a new banner drops behind Shannon, and it says thank you for 25 years, and then it has, that's all in white kind of in the middle, and then they have all the album covers kind of in a half circle. Underneath the album covers are the years that they were released. Plus, not only that happens, but then there's confetti. Confetti explodes. It goes all over the place. Sorry, there's something wrong with my camera. confetti goes up and out into the crowd. So that was really cool. They haven't done that ever. So that was really cool to see. And then towards the end of the song, they play a little bit of Over the Mountain by Ozzy Osbourne to finish out. So then the band leaves the stage, and then they come back for the encore. And then as song number 13 is Surrender off the new album. Such a great song live on the album. It don't matter. This song just rocks. It is really good. I love it. And you see they do the triangle things again. Uh, and then song number 14 to close out the show, of course, it is I Stand Alone. Absolutely fantastic live. It never gets old. Crowd singing along. There's fire, there's pyro. Sully does his little jokes towards almost towards the end of the show, talking about wrinkle cream, and he's wanting the crowd to really be pumped up into it. And he says, "Does this 55-year-old man have to come down there and show you guys how how to do it?" And so yeah, he's actually really funny. Uh, and then more pyro goes off, and then the band takes a bow and says, "See you next time." So there's the review of the show. A little bit of info here. I did a little bit of extra. So on the debut album on Godsmack 1, or the debut album Godsmack, they played 2 songs off of it, Voodoo and Whatever. The second album, Awake, they played the title track, Awake. On the Faceless album, which is album number 3, they only played I Stand Alone. Godsmack 4, here we go. They played Zero, Zippo, Nada off of it. So maybe that'll change us, like I said, when they do the co-headlining thing with Stained. Who knows? Or even when they do arenas by themselves, maybe they'll throw a couple of extra songs. Sully always loves doing the just for fun stuff, so maybe something off of Godsmack 4 will show up. So now let's go to the next album. That is the Oracle. They did Crying Like a Beep on 1,000 horsepower. Again, I was kind of surprised they didn't play the title track, but they did play something different. Legends Rise, they actually played 3 songs off of it. 3 of the 4 number 1 songs off of it. The title track from Legends Rise, Bulletproof and Under Your Scars. So they didn't do Unforgettable. And then on the new album, Lighting Up the Sky, they actually played 5 songs. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, when they go into arenas and actually have a longer set time, that that number may go up. So they played 5 songs off of it. The title track, Lighting Up the Sky, Soul on Fire, Surrender, What About Me, and You and I. So there's a little more information for you. Homework this week. Was you at any of these shows? Let me know. Write me a comment. I'd love to know. Are you going to any of these shows? Write me a comment and tell me. That's your homework for this week. Are you going to go see the co-headlining tour? I saw somebody post on Instagram they got their tickets for the co-headlining thing. So yeah, write me a comment down below. I'll talk to you right back. Next week is episode 47. We're going to go back to Tommy Stewart Part 2. I talked about Tommy a few weeks ago. I've meant to write that down, but I forgot. About what happened to Tommy after he left Godsmack, got fired from Godsmack, left Godsmack, who knows. But what happened to him after. This is going to be the episode of pre-Godsmack. So he was in the band at the very beginning, then he quit and left, and then he came back after they recorded the first album, and then he left or got fired, like I said, who knows, after the Awake tour. So this is going to be pre-Godsmack. He actually was on 2 albums. Halloween, the band Halloween, he's actually on bonus tracks, so we'll talk about that. And then he was on a full-length album by the band Lillian X. So we'll talk about that as well. So that's next week. Anyway, so if you know anybody that's a Godsmack fan, likes to talk about Godsmack, hear about Godsmack, send them this way. Send them the link. Tell them go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, type in Smack This, the Unofficial. All the episodes will pop up, even by Twitter, if you on Firefox and Google. My Twitter will show up. My Instagram page, you give me a like or a follow on that as well. And that's it for this week. Yeah, you know what? I was thinking earlier today, you just got smacked.